See Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, busy with tropical showers and thunderstorms across Louisiana. Busy in the tropics. This is the peak of hurricane season. And boy, oh boy, the Atlantic is delivering. Even though after all is said and done, it may be a below normal season. Not below normal this time of year, though, going on right now. Meanwhile, locally, as we take a look at the day's rain and thunderstorms, we started off partly sunny and then the scattering of showers and storms during the course of this afternoon. Still some activity ongoing. Deep tropical moisture in place, so we still have some locally heavy downpours. Most of Acadiana, things are starting to quiet down. Still some lingering rain. St. Martin Parish, portions of Acadia Parish, then off to the north. Still some pretty heavy downpours up towards Marksville, northern portions of Point Coupee Parish. Strongest activity closer to home between Grand Chenier and Cameron Parish, moving up through Jeff Davis Parish. So still some locally heavy downpours. It looks like Lake Arthur and Jennings, you're going to get more rain before the evening is done. But I do expect this activity to gradually diminish this evening, and then very intense activity late this afternoon, more than likely messing with the Baton Rouge traffic mess for drive time, especially just north and east of town. Some very heavy rainfall here, maybe even some small pea-sized hail, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. Big picture, we have this deep tropical moisture entrenched across the area with a little bit of a frontal boundary. That's not going anywhere, so we're going to maintain high rain chances, 70-80% again tomorrow. Then things get really interesting. We do have this disturbance out here in the northwestern Caribbean. There's an upper level low to the north and west of it, but National Hurricane Center does give this about a 50-50 chance of development into a tropical depression, perhaps a tropical storm, but it looks like the main threat may be toward Texas. We'll talk more about that in just a bit. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the tropics, we have Hurricane Helene, 105-mile-an-hour winds. That stays in Atlantic system. Isaac, not looking too good, but barely a hurricane. We'll talk more about that in a second. Then Hurricane Florence, and that's the storm that we're worried about right now. Helene looking good, though, on the satellite imagery. This could become a major storm, and you can see Isaac right here not looking too much like a classic hurricane for right now, but that is a different story for Florence as the southeast is bracing and the mid-Atlantic bracing for this system down the line. Florence getting bigger and more organized this afternoon, but it looks like it's leveled off on the satellite presentation late this afternoon, but nonetheless a Category 4, 140-mile-an-hour winds may get very close to a Category 5 storm out here in the Atlantic. Cat 5 is 156 or better, so it's going to be a strong 4 and more than likely a major hurricane when it makes landfall right now somewhere along the southeastern North Carolina coast. And after that, notice the lines get close together. Very heavy rainfall will follow this system. As for the risk of hurricane force winds, they're going to be approaching the coastal areas as we go into Thursday and then continuing into Friday. And currently, these numbers are only going to go up. Better than a 30% chance of hurricane force, sustained hurricane force winds, Wilmington, North Carolina through Cape Lookout. So these numbers will likely expand with time. So we'll be watching that very closely. Meanwhile, Isaac not looking very organized. We're going to keep an eye on this system. This is kind of a just in case. We'll watch this system. We do think it stays close to a hurricane as it threatens the eastern Caribbean, but then upper level shear will take its toll. But the Hurricane Center is not set with their forecast. Notice the spread on the models, thousands of miles after that. So we'll just have to wait and see if something would kind of creep toward the northwestern Caribbean in a week's time. Meanwhile, that disturbance out here in the northwestern Caribbean will be heading northwest as we take a look at this is the European model here. Maybe a broad area of low pressure developing as we head into Thursday. There you see Florence making landfall. We're hoping enough high pressure between Florence and this tropical system will come in, keeping all the heavy rains with that potential disturbance to the west of us. So that is the good news. Bad news is heavy rainfall on tap for somebody with this disturbance in the Gulf. Right now, the Euro model likes the mid-Texas coast. We're talking 5-8 inches of rain or more. And then look at the rainfall totals associated with Florence, 10 to 15 inches or better from portions of South Carolina and a lot of North Carolina and a good part of Virginia. There's going to be massive flooding, especially when you get into the mountains of North Carolina and Virginia. Meanwhile, locally here, things quiet down. First thing in the morning, scattered showers and storms. They march inland. I think the model's underdoing it here. We're going to go 70–80% on your rain chances for tomorrow afternoon, and then activity will begin to die down as we get to this time tomorrow. Going into Wednesday, the model's been hinting at this, maybe slightly drier conditions, so I got the rain chances down to 40–50%, but we'll still see the risk of storms. So showers ending warm and humid overnight tonight. Clouds thinning on out later on. 73 the low, 88 the high tomorrow. 70–80% on your rain chances for tomorrow, so keep that umbrella with you. And then we go down a little bit on the rain chances as we go into the latter part of the week. We're not going to go with any impacts on that disturbance that will be heading into the Gulf of Mexico, although winds and seas will come up offshore Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But right now I'm not seeing major impacts locally here, and if all goes well, just a typical splash and dash shower and thunderstorm forecast over the next 10 days.
All right, we can deal with that, I think.
Right, exactly.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Still